Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Wade T. Lightheart from Bioptimizers with another episode of the Awesome Health Podcast. And today we have none other than Bianca Jade. By the way, if you haven't heard of her, she is the founder of health and lifestyle brand Mizzfit, one of the most popular blogs out there. In fact, she's an OG in that industry. I think she's been doing this for 12 years or something like that. Long time. We'll get into that. Anyways, she's used to work for one of New York's top advertising agencies. She's won all kinds of awards on TV, print, and she's a fitness, health, beauty, and travel expert and travels the country as a correspondent for local news stations. I don't even know how you do all this sort of stuff. And she doesn't really like the term influencer, although she is. And she's made a name for herself as one of the first bloggers and influencers in the USA. And discovered by none other than Nike's R&D team, which promptly led her to debut on the Today Show way back in 2009. Wow, you look so good, Bianca. Some people would say, come on, how's that possible? You can't possibly have done all that already in your life.
Actually, I feel like I haven't done enough. So it's funny that you say that.
I would suspect that someone that does as much as you're doing and have done would automatically say that, because that's typically the type. So tell me let's get a little bit into your background. How did this all get started for you? And what was your passion to 2009, when did you start your blog then? Or?
Yeah, well, I actually started in 2008, but I was building it myself and I had no development skills or web design skills at all. So, technically I started in 2008, but nothing launched or went, live until 2009. But, my background with that is that, although I've had several careers, including finance and PR, the bulk of my first career, well, I'm going to call it my first career because it was like my first long career, was advertising. So, I was able to build up an amazing skill set to be able to do what I do now because, with advertising, you're doing marketing. I was a creative director, so I wrote commercials and designed ads and billboards and came up with ideas for cool ad-based events. So that really helped me launch my own business because I was able to at least start out with the initial designs of my website, since I had design skills, and really learn how to create, I knew how to create a brand because I had done it for so many other brands. So while it was not easy, and it's never easy to work on your own brand because you're so in it. It was so helpful to have that background in advertising, to be able to launch something that was, purely my own.
That's really, really cool. So how did it start? What were you talking about when you first, and has that evolved over that? It's a long time.
Evolved.
Yeah. So
yeah.
talk about that.
Okay, so I originally had the idea for my blog, which is called Mizzfit.com.
That's two Z's.
Two Z's.
I would say Z because I'm a Canadian.
Yeah,
but down here,
I love my Canadians. I love you guys. You're just better than us Americans. So let's just put that out there right away. You guys do everything better. So I'll say Z. Double Z. Can you say that?
Double Z, double Z. Doesn't matter. It's Mizzfit, Mizzfit.
Exactly. Yeah. So I came up with it while I was, working my 9 to 4 a.m. in the morning job in advertising. I say 4 a.m. because I literally was at the office until that late sometimes. And I always had fitness as my outlet, because I work so much in New York City, as many people know, it's work-centric culture. So I would, use my lunch break to, go to a gym nearby or go out for a run near my office. And sometimes I would eat lunch during meetings or while I was sitting at my desk, just to be able to have that, that opportunity for fitness. And, during this time when fitness was such a it was such a gift, to be able to take that break from work, I got really into fitness fashion. And it was just like a really like a very passionate thing for me. And so I did some research, and there were no blogging right at that point, in like 2007 was still like pretty novel. And so I did some research, and there was no fitness fashion blogs out there really. So I decided I was going to be like the big one, the one to like really, be the one people talked about. And
Right.
so when I left my career in advertising, that's what I did. I started Mizzfit.com, and it was completely dedicated to fitness, fashion, and trends. So everything from like the latest, threads for working out to talking about like cool technology. Like Fitbit had, I think Fitbit hadn't even come out yet when I launched my site. Yeah. But like wearables, supplements, and even really cool designs of, fitness equipment. That was my blog.
Wow, that's so cool. Now, what have you seen particularly? I'm curious about the fitness attire trend, clothing, and, it's evolved a lot from when I, you did a tank top and a sweatpants and a sweatshirt that you pulled over your head. That's kind of when I started. And now it's okay to be out in public in these really stylish, trendy places.
100%.
So what have you seen in that evolution? This is an area that I'm completely ignorant in. I'm just kind of witnessing the little threads, if you will, of something's happening here,
You can jump in at any time, Wade. So, it's funny that we're talking about this because right before I hopped on with you, I was writing a blog post about a new collection that Adidas dropped, which is like so great because it's like a training collection that you could actually do, HIIT workouts in, but it's got all these like really nice mesh paneling, which on a woman is like super sexy because it's revealing, but it's not revealing. But it also serves to be like cooling in terms of, like sweat. I guess it is sweat wicking, but it just lets air into, those places of your body where you sweat the most. And it's just like looks really nice against the body. Especially if you have a good body to show off. So I was blogging about like this new mesh collection. And while I was blogging, I was thinking like, wow, we have come so far because like 10, 15 years ago, like this didn't exist. The technology, to create these kind of, really light, almost like feather light fabrics that we can work out in that still support us. I mean, I know I need that support in my midsection. I don't have like a six pack or anything. So I love when pants like really like hug me and make me look, slimmer. And back then, like our workout wear was looser, not to say it wasn't like cooling or didn't feel good, but it was really just serving the purpose of like allowing us to work out comfortably. But now it's like fitness fashion, like not only like makes your body look better, support you in the right places. But like you said, like you can go out to brunch with a friend, put a denim jacket on, or like put a hoodie on, and you've got like a Kardashian worthy outfit, So I think what that does, and this is what I was blogging about, is that it allows us to like wake up in the morning, put on that cute, or for a guy, like nice, flattering outfit. And then you already have your like fitness, thing on. So you're definitely going to work out later that day. Like you would be mad at yourself if you didn't, especially if you've been working, you've been wearing your fitness clothes all day. And I think that's easier, said in these times of Corona where we don't have to, where we're maybe not going into the office for work and people are probably not putting on suits in their normal workout or their normal office wear. But that's what I do. I put on my fitness clothes, something cute. And, by noon or whatever time that day, like I am going to my workout. There is no excuse. So that's how I think times have changed for the better.
That's really cool. And I know I'm always blown away. I remember Chip Wilson used to run a little place up in Vancouver, and he used to do all these kind of swimsuits and trunks for all the bodybuilders and all these sort of stuff. And then eventually that ended up into Lululemon. So, I mean, like, he was just a guy that he was just a guy that had a place next to my hairstyles.
I didn't know that about him. Like, I didn't know that he was doing it for bodybuilders. And I'm so thankful, because Lululemon, like, that was what started, the whole trend of fitness fashion. And, even though, like, I'm glad that, back in the day, there was a Lululemon, like, Lululemon was like probably like one of three, major brands that was doing it. So I didn't really have much to blog about as far as, so many options for brands. And Lululemon definitely, like, it was like, that was what I was showcasing a lot at the beginning, because it was just like the only like accessible retail,
Yeah, they sort of started a trend, and then
huge trend
that shifted the mindset to make these kind of like stylish, form-fitting, make you look better activewear.
Yeah. When I remember visiting London, and their equivalent is Sweaty Betty, and that started like around the same time as Lululemon, and they were selling water bottles and accessories. And that, to me, that was like the biggest thing. I was like, wow, fitness, wear and accessories together. Like, my mind was blown. And it's just funny that now that's the norm. But, if you went to Dick's or, Sport Authority, I don't even know if that's open anymore, but like back then, that's like where, Americans had to shop for workout clothes and stuff. And it was like really boring, merchandised very poorly. So you couldn't really get inspired. So I'm thankful that the trend happened, because I think it encouraged so many more people to work out, especially the fashionistas that, didn't really want to break a sweat. Like, now now it was like, okay, you get to wear cute stuff. Break a sweat, just do it.
It kind of made me flash back to the old days in my bodybuilding career, where they had the crazy wear outfits with all those leopard prints and all that crazy stuff. And then we went,
love that stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then we went into the workout tights with the stripes, and then we had these stringer. So bodybuilding was really a kind of ahead of itself in one aspect, and then that kind of caught on and got more trendy. I want to talk next about something that's really important for you, and that is how to age gracefully. And I think it's a topic that a lot of women struggle with. And we were talking earlier, you were talking about how people are actually trolling you and say you're doing all these other things which you're not doing. Talk to me about the pressure. I want you to speak to it as a woman for our women listeners, because I think a lot of men are really not tuned into this, to be frank. They don't understand what's going on. Like, for example, I came out of the store the other day, and I had a bottle, and I had like my bottle here, and I had a pair of shorts and a shirt, and it all matched. Now, it matched because I didn't know it matched. It just kind of did.
It was an accident.
and I had two different girls go, well, that looks really good. Your bottle matches your clothes. And I was just like, really? Oh, wow.
And was that your branded bottle? You should have been like, hey guys.
Actually, it actually wasn't my branded bottle. It was another bottle, was blue, and I had a blue.
Okay.
I had a blue tank top and a blue shorts, and I had this blue bottle, and two different ladies commented about it. It was a complete accident on my part. I didn't know, but it cued me into that was something that they were scanning for all the time. And I think the fashion industry is very dominant in the female purchasing market. What have you noticed?
It's totally important to us. I mean,
what have you noticed how the tie-in between fashion and aging gracefully and what you eat and all that, how does that all work for you, and how do you kind of put that all together? Because I think a lot of people get confused about which direction to go. Should I use Botox? Should I use Louis Vuitton? Should I use, CrossFit?
Right. Well, it's like it's a mental state, I think, looking good and like aging gracefully and, taking care of your body, everything like that's, it's a place you have to be in your head, because, obviously we've heard it a million times. It's so we've heard it so much, it's like a cliche, but it's a truth. You have to really love yourself first, before, before anything, before you can get into any kind of relationship.
Do you have a practice for that? Do you consciously practice loving yourself?
Yeah. I mean, and I didn't always love myself. I would say that's a huge part of like why fitness is, so important to me. Because if you go into fitness not, loving yourself, you come out definitely loving yourself, because you get to see transformation happen, especially if you're really dedicated. And then the endorphins and all the like the chemical, synapses and everything that happens to you, when you dedicate your life to fitness, you have no choice but to love yourself, because you feel so good. So, I would start there. Like, you can't just jump into, fitness fashion, or even like, non-invasive to invasive, beauty treatments, and think that it's going to like solve all of your problems. I think you have to like, have goals, right? What do you want? It's like they always say, whenever you join a gym, like you have to check all these boxes with what your goals are. And I used to be so annoyed by that stuff, but now I totally get it. Like, what are your goals? And my goals were always really to like, be the best version of myself. Whether that was like losing a couple pounds, feeling better internally, not feeling like, my pants were pinching my waistline, like those kind of things. By having a well-rounded routine, which, involved, and listen, I am not perfect. I'm not the girl that's like food prepping, every week. That's not me. I do work out every day, and I do eat pretty healthy. And I do take the right supplements. And I do care for my skin a lot. So I think having those things all kind of, happening and, at the forefront of my mind really have contributed to, my ideal of aging gracefully. And you mentioned, trolling, like I was telling you on social media, like a lot of people I get those trolls on my videos or, on, just any content that I create where I'm talking or doing something, and people are like, oh, it's the Botox girl, or, oh, like, she's definitely, had some work done. And I'm always like, wow, wow, that's so, there has to be a reason why, a quick fix reason why, I look good, or I look younger, or I look fit, for being 41 at a time when for a lot of people, they start to, gain weight. So I think that's kind of like a sad, a sad approach that people often take. And, we see a lot of celebrities also getting, attacked that way. But the celebrities are actually the ones that really invest a lot in their, in their whole body routine, because they're constantly under, everybody's watching them. Right. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I mean, I think for me, the driving force has always been like, I have always wanted to look good for myself. And I think when it becomes about you and not about others, and, like, listen, I do want to live to 100. I do. And, and I do want to, like, it would be nice to look 80 when I'm 100, so I see things, you
can be turning all the heads at the old folks.
Yeah. Listen, my grandma just passed away at 97, and my great grandfather lived until 100. So that could be, that could be possible for me. So I look at it, I look at it like that. And I think because I tackle it, with such dedication that I get the results that I want. And that's what I want everybody to know. That's why I've been so dedicated to Mizzfit.com and, talking about like health and wellness and all these like really cool beauty treatments. There's so many beauty treatments that are non-invasive that, for people that are scared of like needles or lasers or that kind of thing, that are really, effective. And so I love sharing that stuff because I want people to look their best. Like who does it? When you look your best, like everything in life becomes like more empowered.
And now for a Bioptimizers fixed digestion tip. Supercharge your protein shake. Everyone knows protein shakes are a great way to sneak in extra protein, build more muscle, even replace meals and burn more fat. The problem is the highest quality protein typically absorbs at around 40%. One way to fix this and dramatically increase how quickly and effective your protein shake digests is to add 2 to 3 capsules of Masszymes into your shake. One research study showed that pre-digested protein during a meal increased muscle growth significantly. To take advantage of this, just blend the open capsules into your shake, and within 15 minutes or less, the enzymes will have begun to break down the protein into amino acids. This can make your shakes at least 2 to 3 times more potent. Some people do this and sip on their shake while lifting to provide their muscles with a steady stream of amino acids during their workout. To save 10% on Masszymes, use the code SHAKE10, that's SHAKE10, at Masszymes.com. That's SHAKE10 at Masszymes.com.
So talk to me about some of the things, maybe some of the most successful things that you've done that you feel have enhanced someone's beauty, and some of the things that were total failures. I think people,
right.
The world of experiment. I think a lot of people don't want it. Like the fun stories are always the thing that seemed like a good idea and went wrong. And then, and then the unexpected one that you didn't think was going to be anything and was amazing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I have tried a lot of things like from, as far as beauty with women, the face is always, as you age, the face is like the thing that women worry the most about, the face and the neck. Hands too, but there's less you can do for hands than your face and your neck. So I wanted to like really focus on women's pain points. So I try all the new innovation that at a reasonable budget and pain tolerance, women would be interested in trying. So there's this one thing, I'll start with the fail. There's this one thing called Ultherapy. And it's it's basically this treatment that it's non-invasive. You get it on your neck. And I'm forgetting the word it is. It's what technology is exactly used, but it almost feels like you're being electrified or electrocuted rather. And it's about an hour procedure. Yes.
I think I got to turn the dosage down.
There's a video because I film everything that I try, and I'm very candid about it. And there's this video of me online, and you see my eyes literally going crazy. Cause she's working on my neck with this, it's not a laser. I can't think of the word that describes what it is.
Some kind of microcurrent or electrolysis.
Yes. And so, and at the beginning you're like, okay, not so bad. But then 20 minutes in, you're like, I'm getting electrocuted. I really am. And so, and you can see me, you can see the pain, my threshold kind of lower during the video. And I talk about it in the video too, but, the results were virtually non-existent for that. And I remember wow, I went through this whole treatment and nothing really came of it. And I remember they were you're going to be in pain for your neck is going to kind of throb for about 3 months. And I was what? So I usually tell people not to invest in this. But yeah, after that, I was they should have probably told me that before, I committed to the treatment. But, it's fun. I mean, being a guinea pig for beauty products, health, wellness, fitness, that kind of thing. I actually really enjoy it. And there have been probably more fails than successes, but that's what I'm here for, is to really, inform the consumer, what to try. I would say one of the things that I've loved the most has been radio frequency for beauty, because it's you can get it in conjunction with like other treatments, like microneedling, which a lot of women love. Microneedling resurfaces collagen. Mm-hmm. So it's relatively, there's a little bit of needle action there, but like, it's not that painful, and it's affordable. And you can get radio frequency with microneedling, and it just kind of like revives your face, your neck, your décolleté, and it really boosts your confidence. I know after, I get these treatments, I'm just like, wow, I might not look like dramatically different, but you just feel, it's like going to the gym. That feeling, after you walk out of the gym and you just feel pumped. Mm-hmm. That's how these beauty treatments feel. And so I love, blending beauty with fitness, because I feel like it's all fitness, and taking care of your skin, in the morning, at night, just with your daily regimen is very important too.
So with your facial beauty program and things that you do, are there products or practices that you do regularly, and then you kind of go off and try some of these treatments? And if you do have a kind of a regular routine, I'm sure some people would love to know.
Yeah. I mean, this is always a disappointment, is that I use everything. Like there's not like one
right.
like, beauty brand that I'm
right. There might be some best practices though.
Yeah. So, okay. There's one mistake that every woman makes is they'll fall asleep with their makeup on, and makeup is like the end of us. And I work as, a television host, in, different categories, home shopping, and then in news as well. And so you've got to like layer on that makeup, because otherwise, the viewers will see everything. So I do wear a lot of makeup, but I make sure like the minute I get home from a job, that makeup comes right off. And before I go to bed, my face is like very clean. I've got a couple layers of, different kinds of moisturizers on, and one like that's totally routine, no matter what the brand is, or the label, is hyaluronic acid. I feel like that is like, that is just one of the best things you can do for your skin, because it's better than water. It holds 2 times its weight in water. So it's basically just adding tons of moisture to your skin. And as many people know, moisture is what helps, prevent wrinkles and, the decline in elasticity of your skin. So that's really important, putting the right, products and knowing ingredients. A lot of people don't take the time to do that. And that's something that with this whole trend of clean beauty, I put a lot more time into. It's definitely time consuming to like sit there and read labels, but it's so important. It's like supplements. Like you don't want to take the wrong thing, because then you could have adverse, effects.
What are some of the things that you should avoid that's in a lot of beauty products?
Well, fragrances, because most people are allergic to a lot of them. Any type of like coloring, is not natural. Like anything that's really unnatural. I would say a lot of alcohol-based products, just because even though everybody is using alcohol right now for, hand sanitizing and stuff, just look at your hands and how they've been affected by the hand sanitizers. Our hands are dry. Mine have been like super flaky since I'm sanitizing like I don't know how many times a day. So alcohol-based products are really gonna like deplete your skin of moisture. I think what's super important for everybody to consider is exfoliants, because they help take the dry skin, the dry flaky skin that's actually dead off of our skin, and it helps resurface the new skin. A lot of people are scared of like exfoliating because they find it, painful, or they think it'll like scratch their skin. But as long as you're using, natural exfoliants, you're actually giving yourself, it's, like a poor man's beauty treatment, because that's what they're doing at, the dermatologist's office, is they're giving you some kind of beauty treatment that's going to resurface your skin cells.
So how does the whole, like, what's your routine as far as exercise? And then like, do you have a routine around that as well? Are you trying different
I
things, the
will
same
never
thing?
live up to your standards, but I work out every day. And I try to mix up my workouts. That's the secret to me having, a fit. I'm a mesomorph. So like I'm petite and like I build muscle really fast. So, and my goal is to have like a slim frame and not get too bulky, but still like have like nice, toned, um, arms and legs and a booty and everything. So, so I just try to like change it up. I lately have been doing a lot of HIIT and CrossFit, because it's super challenging for me. And I see a lot of results from it. And I've been doing a lot of running. Running is my passion. Running and yoga are my favorites. So like I'll alternate it. So every day is a different workout. There's some workouts I completely stopped. Like I used to do bar workouts a lot, but then I just was finding, even though I loved the workout, I wasn't really seeing, much in terms of results. And I think it's okay um, to leave a workout behind, like if it no longer serves you, because our bodies are all so different. And for example, I'm 41. At 41, like I like never really had done CrossFit that much, and then I got into it over quarantine, and I was like, wow, like my body's really responding to this. So I think as long as you try new things and see what like works, like I like a workout that makes me fall asleep early at night.
Right.
And that's CrossFit and HIIT. Like, wow. I'm just at night, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I take my magnesium breakthrough and I am ready. I'm out like a light. I love it.
That's beautiful. What types of yoga do you like to do?
Power yoga. I'm kind of veering away from hot yoga just because it was kind of like messing with my skin. But power yoga and like vinyasas are my favorite.
Right on. It's beautiful. I used to go to Bali, Indonesia every year before COVID. And there's a massive yoga community, like every type of yoga. Yeah. So I always ask, like, what type of yoga are you?
And the food there is so good.
It's amazing. It's a total tropical paradise. I love that place. Can't wait to go back, hopefully, when all this craziness ends. What are some of the things that you feel people get wrong on the aging gracefully, or how is it eating? Is that a big one that they struggle with, do you think? Or what's the...
Yeah, I think people, what they do is they like overindulge and then they think they can like erase that with like some quick fix. For example, trying to think of something like, I have obesity in my family, actually. That's really what, as a teenager, got me into fitness, because there was so much obesity in my family. My mom's like, you really, like, I don't want this to happen to you. You really have to take care of yourself. Like, I want you to think about this early. I'm so glad my mom did that, because, people will like go out to eat and do, eat these very indulgent foods and think that like, they can hit the gym the next day and that one gym session is really going to do something, or like maybe they'll get, some really invasive procedure and that's going to take away like all that damage. And, and really it's, it's a lifetime, commitment, to health. So I think to age gracefully, you have to know what, types of, food groups and, minerals and also how long it takes to burn a certain amount of calories. Like I know that like, 10 to 20 minutes of jumping rope is going to burn, anywhere between like, 200 to 300 calories for me. So I sometimes, when I don't have a lot of time to work out, like, especially a day like today, when I just got back to New York and I'm traveling tomorrow again, like I'll go out to my terrace and just jump rope for like half an hour. And I sort of know, I have an idea of what kind of calorie burn I got. And so I'm also careful as to how much I eat, that day, if that's the workout I got in, versus another day, if I'm at a boot camp, for an hour, like, wow, that calorie burn's probably much higher, So I think, getting informed is a great way to age gracefully. And you don't have to be a nerd like us, because I know we're, health and fitness nerds. But, it helps to follow someone too that's very, educated on these subjects. For instance, I have been watching your videos every day. And wow. I'm learning so much from you. And I love that they come in like early in the morning and that I can like have my coffee and watch your videos, about a different way to like optimize your fitness and your health. And I don't know the things that you know. So, even within like our industry, it's important to, always be learning. And a lot of, consumers of fitness don't realize that like, as like health and wellness experts, we are constantly learning from each other. So I think that's good, follow someone that, has the body type you want, or like the, has like a brand that, is very aspirational to you, and, follow their regimen and try it out. I think you can always shift and change something else down the road.
Beautiful advice. And I think a lot of people, it's funny, the more I learn, the more I feel I don't know. And I've heard that before.
Like that too.
I've heard that before, but now I'm absolutely, completely embrace that concept. And I love spending time with people in the industry and asking, actually almost any industry. I love just finding out about what someone has spent a lifetime learning. Speaking of which, where do you think Mizzfit is going in the next, like, what trends do you see coming? What do you think's happening? Where is your brand going? And what is that? Is there new things coming up for you, or is it like, what's happening over at Mizzfit?
Well, COVID has definitely given me some time to take a step back and like really look at my brand and, what my goals are for the future. A lot of stuff has changed in my, day-to-day reality. I used to be traveling the country, and as a travel expert as well. I was going abroad and, hosting different, travel shows, and all of that really stopped. I am an optimist, and I think, a lot of that will return, but, I have shifted to really all the content that I was creating, on TV. I am now, really diving into writing a lot, because I think people are spending a lot of time, reading online. They're still like watching videos and television, but a lot of people are just, looking up information, online, and, here's a good example: cooking. Everyone became a chef over COVID. Mm-hmm. And so recipes were being, just looked up like crazy. I mean, I was doing it too. So I actually started diving more into making healthy recipes with great brands that I was so excited to partner with. One example is Bright Rice. They make a rice made out of 90% vegetables. So it's healthier.
Oh, wow, I love it.
It has less net carbs. So good for like fitness people, as well as people that are trying to lose weight. So I started making a lot of recipes with these products, like a paella. A paella is usually something that like fitness people will stay away from. But when you're making a paella with a healthier kind of rice, it's a little, it's a different story. So I've shifted into the areas that people are spending more time in, looking up online, and needing tutorials for. And that's what I've been doing. I've been creating that kind of content, because in my world, you have to stay relevant. So, I want to be where the people go. And we'll see, like, as far as, hosting starts, picking back up again. That is, part of my career that's so important to me, and that I love, because I love the camera so much. But I do feel that it's been good for all of us to take a step back and kind of like reevaluate the things that we love, maybe don't love so much, and the parts of, our businesses and lives that we need to like invest more time in. So I know that I've done it. I don't know about you, but like I've done it for my website. I was sort of neglecting my site and I revamped it, something I would have never had the time to do previously. Are there things like that you've found for yourself?
Totally, 100%. The whole COVID things caused a reevaluation of a lot of things, of course. And I spent a considerable time out in the desert for 3 months during this in Arizona, and spent time. I discovered alternate day fasting, 12 hours of eating, then 36 hours off.
Wow.
And yeah, it was profound and very effective. And so who knew I wouldn't have done that had that not had this whole thing happen. So it's always a half full, half empty. I think we all want to kind of start into new trends.
Yeah.
Start new things.
I never thought, I remember, because I've been approached about writing a book several times, and I never really considered these opportunities, because I was like, when will I ever have time to write a book? And if I'm going to write a book, I'm going to write it. I'm not going to have a ghostwriter, So, but now this time has made me realize I could write a book. Sure. I could make the time, and that's what I think has been epic about this terrible, situation that the world finds itself in, is that we're realizing that, there is time to be made in all our lives. I know I've been rambling, but the last thing I'm going to say here is that a friend of mine, I reconnected with a friend who's like a dad of 3, and he was telling me how like COVID made him realize he wanted to be like a better father. Even though this guy's like the greatest dad ever, he's like, I realized there's so many things that I wanted to do with my kids. And that was like, I don't have kids of my own, but that was so inspiring to me, because I was like, wow, like, here's this guy telling me this, and he's already this stupendous father. It inspired me to kind of like, just reflect on the things that I could do better. And that's, I know that's not like this like really glamorous answer to your question, but that's where I find myself right now. And I feel like it's going to be pivotal, for my brand in the next couple of years when I do have something big to announce, that like I will have, gone and looked at like my Mizzfit empire and really tweaked the things that needed to be tweaked, and sort of eliminated the things that weren't really, serving me or my audience that much anymore.
Speaking of which, where can people reach you? And give us all your handles, your social media, all that sort of stuff, so people can find out. I know you're on a tight time schedule here. So
right on. Well, my website, which we discussed, Mizzfit.com. And you can do all sorts of things there, like follow my life, shop my closet, come up with or find, great options for health, fitness, beauty, travel, that kind of thing. But also my Instagram handle is Bianca Jade, my name. And my Twitter handle is Mizzfit, which is the same as my website. So please find me there. And I love when people reach out to me. I'm such a people person, whether it's in person or digitally. So send me questions, comments, everything.
It's so beautiful. Thank you for joining us today, Bianca.
Thank
It's
you.
been really great. I've learned a few things that I didn't know about, and I will avoid electrocuting my neck.
Yeah. Don't get all therapy. You don't need
it. Trying to extend my beauty. Anyways, hey everybody, thanks for joining us today on the Awesome Health Podcast. It's Wade T. Lightheart from Bioptimizers. We would love for you to reach out with your questions, your texts, and all that sort of stuff. One of our teammates will answer your questions, of course, and be sure to check out Mizzfit for the latest on aging gracefully, eating right, and looking your best. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you all again on the next episode.
And now for a Bioptimizers fixed digestion tip: how to get away with eating sugar. Hey, look, sugar is normally one of the worst things for you. But let's be honest. I mean, we all cheat from time to time. And here's a little trick that will ensure your body benefits from the sugar. Now, before you eat or drink anything sweet, take 5 to 8 capsules of P3OM. The patented strain in the formula devours sugar so fast it literally doubles in the body every 20 minutes in the presence of sugar. That doesn't mean that you can or you should eat a bunch of sugar or sit around all day doing that. But on the days that you do cheat, or you go after one of those maybe meals that you wouldn't normally do, this ensures that you get something in your gut that eats the sugar. And it's not going to feed the bad guys or spike your blood glucose nearly as much. So to learn more about P3OM and its sugar-devouring and protein-digesting properties and how it can transform your gut and metabolism, go to www.bioptimizers.com.
Thank you for listening to the Bioptimizers Awesome Health Podcast. You can find more information at bioptimizers.com.